Okay, this is very important topic. Mechanism of flow of electric charges in a metallic conductor. That is concept of drift velocity and relaxation time. Now metals are good conductors of electricity, you all know. Why they are good conductors of electricity? Can anyone tell me? Anji, why metals are good conductors? Anji, one of you please.
Ma'am, because they have
Free
free
electrons.
electrons.
Yes, they have large number of free electrons. So metals, they nearly have large number of free electrons, that is 10 raised to the power 28 per cubic meter. Okay, this is the number of free electrons, 10 raised to the power 28 per cubic meter in metal conductors. So in the absence of electric field, what happens? These electrons, they are in the state of random motion due to their thermal energy. Now at room temperature, they are moving with the velocities of the order 10 raised to the power 5 meter per second. This is the order of their velocity. That is 10 raised to the power 5 meter per second at room temperature. However, these velocities are distributed randomly in all directions. That is, all the electrons, they are not moving in one particular direction. The velocities of all the electrons, that is distributed randomly in all the directions. That is, there is no preferred direction of motion. On the average, you can say number of electrons traveling in any particular direction will be zero. And in one particular direction, there is no net flow of electrons. Or you can say the number of electrons traveling in any direction will be equal to number of electrons traveling in the opposite direction. That is, no net flow of electrons in one particular direction. Now if we are considering u1, u2, so on up to un are the random velocities of n free electrons. Then average velocity at room temperature, that is in the absence of electric field, their average velocity u, that is equal to sum of all the velocities u1 plus u2 plus so on up to un divided by n, that is average velocity of the electrons, it is equal to 0. Average velocity of electrons in one particular direction, that is 0. That is, there is no net flow of charge in any particular direction. Now what happens in the presence of an external electric field? Each electron is going to experience a force. How much force is going to experience? You know the formula for force. F equals to QE. This is the formula for the force. Force experienced by the charge particle Q in external electric field E. Here the charge particle is electron. So minus E into E. This is the force experienced by the electron. Here negative sign shows that electron जो है electron feels a force in a direction opposite to that of electric field. Now if the electron experiences force in the presence of electric field, then it is going to accelerate as per Newton's second law. Newton's second law आपने पढ़ा हुआ है. So F equals to ma as per Newton's second law. So if a charged particle is experiencing force, it is going to accelerate. So what is the acceleration produced in the charged particle? Acceleration A will be given by force upon mass. Because F equals to ma, so acceleration A will be equal to F upon m. So force कितना है on the charged particle? Force is minus E into E. This is the force. Upon mass of the charged particle, let us take it as small m, where m is the mass of an electron. And can anybody state Newton's second law. Hanji, anyone please? Newton's second law. Can anybody state? Hanji, Simran is there. Hanji, state Newton's second law.
Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum.
Okay, very good, very good. So force जो है that is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum, and change in momentum जो है that is in the direction of force applied. From there only we derived F equals to ma, force equals to mass into acceleration. Now what we have done till now, you have a conductor which has large number of free electrons. In the absence of electric field, all the electrons are moving randomly in all the directions with their thermal velocities, such that their average velocity in one particular direction is 0. Now in the presence of electric field, each electron is going to experience force in a direction opposite to electric field, and it is going to accelerate using the formula F equals to ma. So acceleration produced in the charged particle will be A equals to EE, yani F upon m, where m is the mass of an electron. Now as the electron accelerates, they frequently collide with the positive metal ions or other electrons of the metal. Okay? They are going to collide with other metal ions and electrons in the metal. Between two successive collisions, an electron gains a velocity component. See, electron is being accelerated. Accelerated का मतलब क्या है? It is going to gain the velocity. Now what happens when there are collisions one after the another? So between two successive collisions, an electron gains the velocity. In which direction? In a direction opposite to electric field. However, this gain in velocity lasts for a short time and is lost in the next collision, because there are continuous collisions. They are frequently colliding with the positive metal ions or other electrons. So whatever is the velocity gained between two successive collisions, it is going to lost in the next collision. So at each collision, the electrons, they start with a random thermal velocity. Yani the electron has random thermal velocity, and in addition to it, in the presence of electric field, as it is going to accelerate, so it will be having some additional gained velocity due to this electric field. Yani in addition to thermal velocity, there is another velocity which is gained by the electron between two successive collisions due to the presence of electric field. Now see what happens further. Now if an electron is having random thermal velocity u1 and it accelerates for time tau 1. Tau 1 is the time before it suffers next collision. Yani the electron is having thermal velocity u1 and it accelerates for time tau 1 before it suffers next collision. So what velocity it is going to attain finally? Finally, it is going to attain v1, that is the final velocity. You know equations of accelerated motions. The equation you know, that is v equals to u plus at. Okay, t is the time for which the body accelerates, where u is the initial velocity and v is the final velocity. So V1 is the final velocity gained by the charged particle. U1 is the initial velocity. A is the acceleration attained by the charged particle for time tau 1. Yani before suffering next collision, the charged particle is accelerated for time tau 1. Similarly, the velocities of other electrons will be, Hanji, second electron velocity will be V2 equals to U2 plus A tau 2. You have third electron having velocity V3 equals to U3 plus A tau 3. Hanji, can anybody tell me what is U3 here? Hanji, please. One of you. In this equation, V3 equals to U3 plus A tau 3. What is U3?
Thermal velocity.
Yes, thermal velocity of third electron. Okay? And V3 is very good. Hanji, you are right. V3
Due
is
to force.
Hanji, final velocity of the third electron. Hanji, tau 3. Tau 3 is Hanji, what is tau 3?
Time taken by the third electron.
Time taken by the third particle to suffer next collision. Yes, very good. Similarly, for nth electron, the equation will be Vn is equal to Un plus A tau n. Now the average velocity of all the n electrons is given by Vd, that is drift velocity. This is the average velocity we are finding out in the presence of electric field. Because average velocity in the absence of electric field is 0. So average velocity in the presence of electric field is given by Vd, that is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 so on up to Vn upon n. So V1 is U1 plus A tau 1. V2 की value you can put U2 plus A tau 2. Similarly up to Vn, that is Un plus A tau n divided by n. Now you can segregate initial velocities altogether. You can take U1 plus U2 so on up to Un divided by n plus A common tau 1 plus tau 2 so on up to tau n divided by n. Now this factor, ये जो है आपके पास U1 plus U2 plus so on up to Un divided by n, that is the average thermal velocity of the electrons, which you know it is equal to 0. 0 plus A. Now this is average time taken by all the electrons between two successive collisions. Average time taken by the electrons between two successive collisions, and that can be taken as tau. So in the next step you can write tau as it is equal to tau 1 plus tau 2 so on up to tau n divided by n. That is the average time between two successive collisions. So this average time that is being taken by the electrons between two successive collisions is called relaxation time. So the average time that elapses between two successive collisions of an electron is called relaxation time, and for most conductors it is of the order of 10 raised to the power minus 14 second. So velocity gained by an electron. So whatever is the gain in velocity कब होगी? When there will be acceleration, that is between two successive collisions. So what is the gain in the velocity of an electron during this time? यानी इस relaxation time के दौरान what is the gain in velocity? That is Vd that is equal to A into tau. A is given by F by M using formula F equals to ma. So this is F minus EE by M into tau. So this is your velocity gained by an electron during the relaxation time. That is EE tau by M, and this parameter Vd, it is called drift velocity of the electrons. So drift velocity can be defined as, see this definition carefully. Drift velocity can be defined as average velocity gained by the free electrons of a conductor in the opposite direction of externally applied electric field. Hope the definition is clear to you. Go through the definition again. So drift velocity is the average velocity gained by the free electrons of a conductor in the opposite direction of the externally applied electric field. Now, although electric field क्या कर रही है? It is accelerating an electron between the two collisions. Yet it does not produce any net acceleration. Why? Although electric field is accelerating an electron between two collisions, yet there is no net acceleration produced. Why? The answer lies here because electrons keeps colliding with the positive metal ions. Whatever is the velocity gained by it due to the electric field, it is lost in the next collision. So there will be no net acceleration. As a result, the electron acquires a constant average velocity, that is drift velocity, in a direction opposite to electric field. So it can be asked, this question can be asked, as the charged particle is accelerating under the influence of electric field, yet there is no net acceleration produced. Acceleration matlab gain in velocity with time. Whatever is the gain in velocity after a collision, that velocity is lost in the next collision, such that there is no net gain in velocity, and the particle, that is electron, acquires a constant velocity called drift velocity in a direction opposite to that of electric field. So this is how electron drifts in a direction opposite to electric field. This is the direction of electric field. And this is how the electron has drifted in the presence of electric field. See how there is a conductor. Okay, this is your conductor. it is connected to source, what is the direction of motion of electrons? This will be the direction of motion of electrons. Okay, that is they are heading towards the positive terminal. What do you think? The path will be smooth straight line path? Electrons are going to suffer a lot of collisions. They are going to suffer lot of collisions, and after suffering each collision, their path will be hayway. Yani here, after suffering collision at this point, they are going to move here. यहाँ पे collision suffer की, the electron is moving here. This solid line, ये जो solid line है with arrows, it is representing path of electron in the absence of electric field. And this dotted path with arrows, it is representing path of electrons in the presence of electric field. Now what is the difference? देखो same conductor is there, metal ions and electrons will be there. Each electron will be suffering collision with other metal ions and electrons. After suffering collision, their path is going to change. चाहे in the presence of electric field, चाहे in the absence of electric field. After collision, path is going to change. So this is how drift, yani it is going to move a linear distance, this B से B dash. This is the distance moved by the particle in one particular direction. एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में इलेक्ट्रॉन मूव कर रहा है. किस डायरेक्शन में? टुवर्ड्स द पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल, यानी नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल की तरफ एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है. फाइनली देयर विल बी नेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन वन पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन. किसकी? इलेक्ट्रॉन की. And there will be net displacement in one particular direction in the presence of electric field. Whether there is electric field or not, there are collisions that the electron is going to suffer, and after each collision, path is going to change. But what happens in the presence of electric field? Electrons जो हैं, they are drifting with a constant velocity called drift velocity in one particular direction. Electric field के होते हुए भी the charged particle is not accelerating, net acceleration is not there, because whatever is the velocity gained after one collision, that velocity is lost in the next collision. So finally we will say the electrons are going to acquire a constant velocity called drift velocity, with the help of which they are moving in the direction opposite to that of external field. Hanji, hope it is clear. Please see the diagram carefully. Hanji, any doubt till now, please ask.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if anybody can define drift velocity. Hanji, it is there in front of you. Drift velocity. Hanji, one of you please speak. This is the definition. You can see and read it out for me, please. One of you. Hanji, shall I call the name? हाँ जी, लव चहल, प्लीज रीड इट आउट फॉर मी. लव चहल. मानसी इज देयर.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ जी बेटा, प्लीज रीड इट आउट. मानसी, what is drift velocity? हाँ जी, from here you can read it out.
It may be defined as the average velocity gained by the free electrons of a conductor in the opposite direction of the externally applied electric field.
Okay, so this is your drift velocity. So in which direction electron is going to move? In which direction electron is going to move? In the direction of electric field or opposite to that of electric field?
Opposite.
Opposite to that of electric field. Very good. And if I say what is the SI unit of drift velocity? क्या होगी? SI unit of drift velocity.
Meter per second.
Meter per second. Yes, very good. And if I say, what do you mean by relaxation time? Nishu is there. Nishu, please read it out for me. Relaxation time. Nishu. Nishu is there. Misty. Can you hear me, Misty?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ जी, Misty, please read it out. Relaxation time. What do you mean by relaxation time?
The average time that elapses between two successive collisions of an electron is called relaxation time.
And it is of the order of?
For most conductors, it is of the order of 10 raised to the power minus 14 second.
10 raised to the power minus 14 second. That is the order of relaxation time. Okay. Next is relationship between electric field and drift velocity. What is the relationship between them? Now you are applying a potential difference V across the length of the conductor, that is L, having uniform area of cross section capital A. So what is the electric field set up inside the conductor? Electric field कितनी होगी? E equals to V by L. Now under the influence of this electric field, the free electrons, they begin to drift in a direction opposite to electric field with an average drift velocity Vd. We are taking number of free electrons per unit volume, or it can be called as electron density. Electron density, that is N is the electron density, and charge on an electron is small e. Now how many electrons will be there in length L of the conductor? ठीक है, N of in length L of the conductor, how many electrons will be there? Now as you know, N equals to number of electrons per unit volume. Volume is area into length of the conductor. So how many electrons in length L of the conductor? N, that is equal to N into A into L. This is the total number of electrons in length L of the conductor. Now what is the total charge contained in length L of the conductor? Charge कितना होगा? Now one electron we are taking as charge E on it. ठीक है, तो N electrons पे how much charge will be there? Total charge Q will be E into N into A into L. Charge on single electron is E, and on these many electrons which are in length L of the conductor, charge Q is equal to N E A into L. all the electrons which enter the conductor at the right end, they are going to pass the conductor at the left end in time t. T time they are going to take. Time is equal to distance upon velocity. Velocity with which the electrons are moving in a conductor, when external source is connected to it, velocity will be Vd, that is drift velocity. So time is equal to distance L upon velocity Vd. Now how much current they are going to constitute? Current I is equal to Q by T. Q, that is total charge, that is N into E into A into L, upon time, that is L by Vd. So from here you will get the expression L will be cancelled by this L. So I is equal to NEAVD. This is the expression you are going to get. So this is very important expression between current and drift velocity. This equation relates the current with the drift velocity. Now current density, that is denoted by J. Current density is current per unit area of cross section of the conductor. So this current divided by area, you will get E into N into Vd. So this is the expression for current density. Now deduction of Ohm's law from the knowledge of drift velocity. How you are going to deduce Ohm's law? Can anybody tell me what is Ohm's law? You have done in class 10th also. Hanji, one of you please. Ohm's law. Hanji, बोलिए बेटा.
A conductor is directly proportional to potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor, keeping all the other factors constant.
Like temperature and pressure. Very good. Here, what is there? Current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor. Proportionality हटा के we put a constant, that is resistance, denoted by R. So from here we get the expression V equals to IR. Now we are going to derive this expression from the knowledge of drift velocity. Now when a potential difference V is applied across a conductor of length L and drift velocity in terms of V, यानी potential difference की terms में drift velocity is given by. Now drift velocity का expression आपने already निकाला हुआ, that is E tau upon M. Now E, electric field, it can be written as V by L. Electric field E, it is equal to V by L. This is the formula. So in place of this electric field, you can write V by L. So E V tau by ML. Now if area of cross section of the conductor is capital A and number of electrons per unit volume, yani electron density is small n, then current flowing through the conductor will be, current I is given by NEAVD. This is the current I. So NEAVD, drift velocity. ये करंट एंड ड्रिफ्ट वेलोसिटी में एक्सप्रेशन हमने अभी निकाला है इन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड, I equals to NEAVD. This expression we have just found out. So in this expression, in place of Vd, that is drift velocity, you can put this value, EV tau by ML. Okay. Now keeping V and taking I as denominator on the right hand side, rest of the quantities can be taken on the other side. So you can get V upon I is equal to ML upon NE square tau A. Now if the temperature is fixed, if the temperature is fixed, the quantities m, l, m क्या है? Mass of an electron. L, that is length of the conductor. Small n is your number density. E is your charge on an electron, and tau is your relaxation time. A is your area of cross section. Now, if the temperature is fixed, all these quantities are also constant for a given conductor. Therefore, V upon I can be taken as equal to this constant, and this constant can be named as resistance R. So this proves your Ohm's law for a conductor. As in the Ohm's law also, we say that ki V equals to Ri, where R is constant, or you can say V upon I is equal to R. Similarly, here we got the ratio of V to the I, that is potential difference applied to the current flowing in a conductor, is equal to a constant, and this constant is termed as resistance R. So we can write this quantity ml upon ne square tau a as equal to R, that is resistance of the conductor. Now for resistance, I should tell you, resistance जो है, resistance of a conductor. Can anybody define resistance of a conductor? हाँ जी, one of you please. What do you mean by resistance offered by a conductor? You are very much in contact with this term, resistance. What is this resistance? जल्दी बताइए. Anyone? In whatsoever form you remember it, resistance. जनरल मीनिंग पे आओ, रेजिस्टेंस क्या है? हाँ जी.
Obstruction offered to the flow of current.
Yes, hindrance, obstruction to the flow of current. Just now you have studied about drift velocity. What can you think is the possibility of obstruction to the flow of current? हाँ जी, अभी आपने ड्रिफ्ट वेलोसिटी के बारे में पढ़ा. करंट क्या है? फ्लो ऑफ चार्जेस इन वन पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन. ऐसी क्या हिंड्रेंस थी? व्हाट वाज द ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन व्हिच वाज नॉट अलाउइंग द करंट टू फ्लो इन वन पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन? In the topic drift velocity you have studied, is there any term which is clicking to your mind? What was there which was not allowing the current to flow in one particular direction? बताइए. Zoya is there? हाँ जी, Zoya is there? Aman Mandal. Misty is there? हाँ जी, one of
Yes.
you please respond. हाँ जी, very good. हाँ जी, बताइए जरा.
Atoms of solid.
Yes, they were colliding against so many other metal ions and electrons. These collisions they are the cause of resistance. These collisions only are the cause of resistance. These collisions are not allowing the charges to flow smoothly in one particular direction. So that is resistance. The obstruction offered to the flow of charged particles in one particular direction, that is called resistance. Resistance is depending on length of the conductor. That is, more is the length of the conductor, more will be the resistance offered. More is the length of the conductor, yani you have a long way to cross. Charged particle has a long way to cross. So long way, yani long, there are more chances to have collisions. लंबा रास्ता है, yani more collisions will be there. So more the length of the conductor, more will be the resistance. Resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section of the conductor. Now, thin wire will offer more resistance and thick wire offers less resistance. Is it so? How can it be understood? Hanji, how can it be understood? Thin wire, you can say it is as a one-way road. And there are more chances of collisions or accidents taking place in one-way road. Thicker area, yani you can take 4-lane road, 6-lane road, where the chances of collision, yani accident is less, yani lesser resistance for thick area of cross section, for more area of cross section. Resistance also, of course, depends on the nature of the material of the conductor. So combining, you will get R is equal to proportional to L by A, and if you will remove the proportionality and put equality, you will get R equals to rho L upon A. Here rho is another constant of proportionality. It is called specific resistance or resistivity. Now, what is the difference between resistance and specific resistance? क्या difference है? You have studied about it. What is the difference between resistance and specific resistance? The word specific has been attached to it. Okay. So what is there specific in it? This is the resistance for unit length of the conductor having unit area of cross section. Yes, specific resistance is unit length of the conductor having unit area of cross section, which we will be discussing in detail further.